Hello, boys and girls. Mrs. Munoz here again, making like a little quick tutorial related to today's IXL in case you have questions, right? And you that way you can do much better on your grade. This is the video tutorial for X18, right? X18, which has similar figures and indirect measurement. And so this one is going to have, like I said, similar figures and indirect measurement. This might look a little different than what you are used to, right? And in class, but these are two similar triangles. Here you have one little triangle inside of a larger triangle. Look here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to redraw these triangles, right? But separate it. So look, the first triangle I'm going to draw is the large one, which is PRN. So I'm going to draw it here. There's a large one. This is like a little crooked. I hope. Okay, so this is R. The P goes here, and then the N goes here, right? And this is for us to find this dimension, right? And then the other little triangle that you have there is this one. Look, this little one right here. You have it like this. I mean, you don't see the double lines, but then here you have Q and O, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's say, get this little triangle. I'm going to get it out. That way you see it better. I'm getting it out and I'm going to draw it right here. Here like this. Like it's like I'm getting the little triangle out. So this is the Q, the dot here, O, and this is P also, right? And so I'm gonna erase this one. That way you only see, the two triangles here. Again, this, I'm gonna show you here. This little triangle, it's like inside of the larger triangle. So this is what I try to show you, that this little triangle is like here, right? I got it out of the large one, right? And so now I'm going to write the dimensions of these two triangles to solve the missing side. So first I'm going to write, okay, I have that the V is what's missing, right? It says that the long side here, the NP is 8 meters, right? It goes from here to here, right? And then for the little triangle, it says that this side is 3 meters, right? And then it says that the bottom side here is 4 meters, right? And it says, write your answer as a whole number or a decimal, do not round. Okay, so now I'm gonna highlight corresponding sides. So I see that this side, a V, right, is corresponding to this one, which is 3, right? So we can start setting up a proportion here. And I go, okay, V is corresponding to 3. And then I'm going to highlight this side, right? 8 is corresponding to this side, 4. So I'm gonna go here, 8 and 4. And so to solve this proportion, I will see, okay, 4 times 2 gives me 8, right? So 3 times 2 will give me the answer, which in this case will be 6, right? 6 meters. So I'm going to type in here. I don't know how to type it now after I got them. I don't want to stop recording, but I want to type in here. Here, no, it says pause recording. I want to show you that. There, I just press escape. Okay, so here I said 3 times 2 is 6. So I'm going to type in 6, submit, and there, right? Sometimes you're going to be given two triangles like this, right? And so it says here in the diagram below, triangle BAE is similar to triangle BDC. Find R. So here we are looking for this one, R, right? R. And I see that this one is like the longest side of that little triangle. And I think R is corresponding in this triangle to 10. So I'm going to set up a proportion here, right? And I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to use the blue for, and I'm going to say, okay, 10. I'm going to start with the large rectangle, triangle here in the bottom. 10 is corresponding to R, right? And then I'm going to pick here, okay? I'm going to say 6 here. It's a little crooked. Sorry. Ah, this looks terrible. Okay, I'm going to try again. This 6, I'm going to write it right here. That 6 is corresponding to this 3, right? And so to solve this proportion, what would I do? I think we can divide by 2. So I divide by 2 here, get 3. So 10 divided by 2 gives us 5, right? And so we go, okay, here is 5, right? And there, we submit. There you go. So here we have another one like that, right? If you notice, it's like they're flipped. And these little marks tell you which angles are congruent. Like this E is the same as B, right? And so these are like the same. So let's set up a proportion here. Let's see. Okay, we know that they're asking us for this W, right? This W. So I'm going to write it here. I'm using red, so I'm going to say, okay, W is corresponding to this one, 10. And then we can say, okay, use this one. 4 is corresponding to 8. So I go, okay, 4 is with a W, okay? 4 is in the same triangle as W. That's why I'm keeping them together on the same ratio. And then 8 is corresponding, 4 is corresponding to 8. So here I go, what will be the relationship? 8 divided by 2 will give me 4. So 10 divided by 2 will give me the answer, right? Which will be 5. So we'll go ahead here and type in 5, right? Okay, let's jump a level, right, to see some of the harder questions, and I can solve them with you. Here, I think just the numbers are not as friendly, like they're a little bigger, right? But we can handle this. Let's see. Here, I see that we're missing B, so I'm going to say this B is the longest side in this triangle, so it's going to be corresponding to 38. So I'm going to start writing my proportion. I'm going to go, okay, I see 38, which is corresponding to B. And then I will say, okay, here 28 is corresponding to 42, right? So I will say, okay, 28 is in the same triangle as 38. So I'm going to write that one right here. And then 42 is in the triangle with the B, right? And so here, I think I would simplify. You can always cross multiply, right? And then divide. But I think here, if I divide this by 2, right, I will get 38 divided by 2, 15, and 4, 19. And then we have 14. And then 14 times 3 is 42. So 19 times 3, 3 times 10, 30. 3 times 9, 27. 27 and 30, 57. So the answer there has to be 57. Let's see. Right. And so look, we have another one of the nested triangles. So again, let's like open our minds and see. We have here like a smaller triangle inside this one. It's like a smaller triangle inside. I hope you can visualize it inside like the large triangle. So I'm gonna draw the large triangle here first, right? And then the little triangle that is right here, I'm gonna draw it on the side. It's like I'm pulling it out. So I'm gonna draw it right here. I pulled out this little triangle that was nested inside, right? I pulled it out and I drew it right here. So now I'm going to write the dimensions, right? For the large triangle, it says here is a right angle. For the large triangle, we have the dimensions are W, which is the one that is missing. Then it says here, this is QR. Now, this could be a little tricky. Look, it says here that with the little triangle here, this is 34. And then from here to here, they're telling us that it's 17 meters. But I want to know the whole length of this side. So to find the whole length of this side, I think I need to add 34 plus 17, right? So the answer here will be 10 carry 1, 51. 51 meters, right, is this side. This side is 51 meters, right? Because you have to consider this length right here, 34, which is from the little triangle. And then this little piece here is 17. But I need the length of this whole line, which is 51, right? Then I think I already have the dimensions for the large one. Now I'm going to write the dimensions for the little one based on what I see. I see the little one has 16 on this side. It's a right angle right here, 16 meters. And then this side right here for the little triangle is 34 meters, right? And so it says that this is P, N, and letter O. And so I selected that with yellow, so I'm going to say that 51 is corresponding to 34, right? And then the one that is missing, I'm going to say, okay, this W is corresponding to this 16. And so let's set up a proportion, right? So it'll be 16 is corresponding to W. And then here and here, I'll say 34 is corresponding to 51. Let's see. If I divide by 2, I get 17 and 8. And then 17 times 3 is 51. I think we can do that to solve it. I go, look, this divided by 2 and this divided by 2. I would end up with 17 over 8 equal to 51 over W. And then 17 times 3 gives me 51, and 8 times 3 gives me 24. So the answer here will be This is 24, right? 24 meters. So we go ahead and type here 24. There you go, right? And here they're giving us a flipped triangles. So let's see. Let's identify corresponding sides. So let me see. I'm going to use here. We're missing this one, the T, and the T is corresponding to 4. So I go T is corresponding to 4. And then, let's see, let's use green. This little one, 3, is corresponding to 9. So let's see. 3, which is, now 3 does not go with T. I'm doing this wrong. Here, the 9 goes in the same triangle as T, if you notice. So I need to write the 9 right under the T. And then the 3 goes with the triangle that says 4. So I'm going to write the 3 right here. And then to solve it, I think we can use factor of 3. So 3 times 3 gives us 9. So 4 times 3 gives us T equals 12, right? 12 meters. So we type it here, 12 meters, and we submit. And then, okay, I think I'm gonna jump a level to see if we get like harder ones. This is the same. Okay, let me solve this one. This is like a nested one, right? You have a little triangle here, right? And then you have a larger triangle, right? So we can separate these two. You can do it on paper, right? And that definitely helps your mind see what's happening. Look, here, I'm going to use blue. Here, this baby one, I'm going to draw it outside of this large triangle. So I'm going to draw this little triangle right here. And go, okay, this is going to be, this little one is going to be like this. The dimensions here are 70 yards, and it says this is a right angle, 15 yards, right? And then the letters here are K, J, and G. And then I'm going to draw the large triangle, okay? I'm going to draw it separated. That way, like, my mind understands what's happening. So I'm going to draw it like on the side, because these are nested triangles, is one inside of the other. So I have here K, H, and I. And they're telling us to find and this one, right? We need to find this one. And so look here, they're telling us that this long side is 17 plus 17, right? So 17 plus 17, the longest side is going to be 34 yards, right? And so we can set up a proportion, right? And definitely is corresponding to 15. So I'm going to put them down here. And then I'm going to say, okay, here, 17 is going to be corresponding to 34. So we go, okay, 17 is corresponding to 34, and 15 is corresponding to n. So I think this 17 times 2 gives us 34, and 15 times 2 gives us n equals to 30, right? 30 yards. So we type 30 yards there. Let me see. Let me jump a level to see like a harder problem, the way I can explain it to you. Here, oh, look, here we have a word problem. And so when we have a word problem, we need to definitely, sketch it. So here it says a shadow 4 meters long is cast by an elm tree that is 3 meters tall. What is the height of a nearby redwood tree that casts a shadow 16 meters long? So there are two little trees here, right? One little tree, it says that it's casting a shadow that is 4 meters long. 4 meters long. And this baby tree or this little tree is 3 meters tall. And then it says that a nearby redwood tree, we're going to assume is taller because the shadow for this tree is like longer. This is 16 meters, right? And we need to figure out the height of this redwood tree. So we can say, okay, the shadow of 4 is corresponding to 16, right? I'm going to just highlight here to start setting up the proportion. And then I'm going to say the height of the tree will be corresponding, this height will be corresponding to this 3, like this. And so we go, okay, 3 is corresponding to H, and 4 is corresponding to 16. So 4 times 4 is 16. 3 times 4, we have that the height of this tree is 12 meters, right? So we type in here 12, and that should do it, right? So this level is all word problems. So for word problems, you have to sketch the problem, right? So here it says, Juan wants to know the height of a maypole. If the maple casts a shadow 6 yards long and a nearby monument that is 12 yards tall casts a shadow 9 yards long, how tall is a maple? So we can just draw like a small, a skinny, rectangle to do the job of the maple, right? We know this is the height we're missing. And it says that it's casting a shadow that is 6 yards long. And then it says we have a monument, right, that is 12 yards tall. So I'm gonna just like draw another rectangle. This is a monument, and it says that this 12 yards tall. And it says it's casting a shadow that is 9 yards long. Oh, this is like, oh, the monument is taller because it has a longer shadow. So just because it says that this is 9, so if the shadow is longer, well, then this monument has to be taller than the maple. Sorry, I don't know what a maple is, but there. So this says that that one is 12 yards tall, right? And so I'm gonna set up 6 yards with 9, 6 with 9, and then I'm gonna line up here the height of the maple with the height of the monument. So here we have H, which is corresponding to 12, and then 6 that is corresponding to 9. And so here I see, okay, I cannot solve it immediately unless you cross multiply, right? But I think I'm going to simplify. I can simplify this by 3 and by 3, and I would end up with 4 over 3, right? And then I'll have H over 6. And then after that, I go 3 times 2 gives me 6. So 4 times 2 will give us 8. So the height of the maple is going to be 8 yards, right? So here is a problem. And so then let me type in 8 there. And let me jump a level like to go to the hardest level. I think this is going to be the hardest. Oh, no, it's not the hardest yet. Well, here we have decimals. And then probably at this point, we will use a calculator, and there's no problem, right? The calculator doesn't think for us. It only tells us, we tell the calculator, what to do. We type it in. So here I would say, okay, we're missing K. And K is definitely corresponding to 1.6. So we go ahead and start writing the proportion, right? I think this is just harder because the numbers are decimals. K is corresponding to 1.6. And then we have that we're going to have that 34 is corresponding to 10.2 here. So I see the 3.4 should be under 3.4 should be under the 1.6. They're in the same triangle. So I'm going to write here 3.4. And then the 10.2 should be in the same triangle as K. So here I'm going to write here 10.2. And so at this point, I will cross multiply, right? I can say here, okay, K times 3.4 is 3.4K equal to 10.2 times 1.6. Let's go ahead and do that. 10.2, let's see, 10.2 times 1.6. We have, 60. No, I typed it wrong. 10.2 times 1.6. 16.32. Here is 16.32. And then to find the value of K here, we need to divide 16.32 by 3.4. So we will do divided by 3.4. And the answer is 4.8. Okay, so we go here. It'll be K equals 4.8. Right? So let's see. We type in the answer. It says do not round, so I'm going to write 4.8. Right? Let me see. Let me jump. I hope we already get to the challenge zone. Yes, already. Like this is going to be the hardest part of this lesson, the X.18. So here, I think it's only harder because the numbers are larger, right? But it's the same exact process, right? So don't get intimidated by the large numbers. Remember, you can still use a calculator. Just set up the proportion, or else you don't know what to do. So here I'm gonna have that 219 is corresponding to W. So I'm gonna write, okay, 219 is corresponding to W. Then I'm gonna say here, okay, 158.4 goes with this number, 219. I'm gonna write here 158.4 is corresponding to 316.8. 316.8. Right? And then to solve this problem, we cross multiply. So here we have 158.4 times W, which will be equal to 219 times 316.8. So let's go ahead and use a calculator. 219 times 316.8. Whoa, that's a big number. Okay, doesn't matter. 69,379.2. 69,370 what? 9.2. No. 379.2. And then to find W, well, we have to divide those numbers, right? 69,379.2 divided by 158.4. And so the final answer here is going to be divided by 158.4, 438. So here, W equals 438. What are they? Feet. So let's see. We go here, we type in 438. And we submit. What did I type? Didn't I type 438? I guess like I mistyped at the end because I had here 438. What did I type? I swapped the numbers. Okay, sorry. But yeah, the right answer is 438. And I had 438 here. Come on, people. Okay, that's an honest mistake. But there, right? It says that I typed 483. Silly me. So this is like X.18, right? And so this is what you have to do, right? And pretty much that's it. You know, these are the two skills that you have to do today. Here, I'm not gonna highlight anything. I'm just gonna show you, right, the proportion. I will say D is corresponding to 650. D is corresponding to 650. And then 504 is corresponding to 720, right? So you can cross multiply. 720 times D equals to 504 times 650. 504 times 650. 327,600. 327,600. And then to find D, we divide 327,600 by 720. So we divide this by 720. We get 455. I hope I type it right this time. Right. 455, I think, right? D is 455 meters. Okay, let's see. 455 meters. There you go. All right. And so this is like the last level, right? You can also, you may have to like continue sketching in case like you get a word problem. My best suggestion is do sketch it and then like find your corresponding sites. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you finish this soon and you're understanding it. And I will see you tomorrow, Friday. Bye-bye.